Welcome to our slash pro revenge, where we share stories of people getting back at someone with pro revenge after being wronged. First story. Fired from last job, but I got the last laugh. I worked at a retail chain that sold pet supplies and products. When I started working there, it was great, family owned, and everyone I worked with was fantastic. The owners eventually wanted to retire and sold the small chain to an investment group. Once the investment group took over, almost all but a few employees were let go, forced out, or just quit. I hung on for a little while longer before I got promoted at my other job. New company brings in new manager to my store. My store was the top performing store in the entire chain, bringing in about $10, 000-12, 000 per day on average. It was always more on weekends and especially around the holidays. The new manager is a Mr. Company man. Company told him they only want employees around for 2 to 3 years. Myself and two others had been there 10 plus years. So naturally he began ruffling feathers and giving us all a hard time. Unfortunately, he decided on me first. Mr. Company man found out I worked two jobs. The two jobs are not in related fields, so there was no chance of any conflicts of interest on my end. However, my second job requires me to work nights and weekends. When Mr. Company man found this out, he demanded I work nights and weekends there, so it was fair for everyone. I didn't work nights and weekends there because I was that store's only OSHA certified forklift operator, and deliveries didn't come at night, they came weekday mornings, every day. Mr. Company man didn't want to hear that and told me I either had to work nights and weekends or that day would be my last day. I told him, don't threaten me with a good time, I suppose today is my last day then. I was pretty pissed about that, but it's not a big deal now, ended up being the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I went home early, didn't finish my shift, because F them. But when I got home, I decided to call my local OSHA inspector and report them for not having a certified operator on staff, as well as numerous other hazards. Needless to say, they lost close to 3 weeks' profit from all the violations the inspector found. I was surprised they even showed up. In my state, the inspector will call you back after an inspection and tell you if your claims were founded or not. Mine were. And Mr. Company man got his ass chewed out so bad he ended up quitting. Second story. Didn't pay for fireplace. Ended up with a house full of smoke. A friend of mine used to install wood stoves and sell firewood. He still sells firewood, but stopped bothering with fireplaces. This one guy bought a fireplace and wanted it installed. My friend did this, but told him he would need a higher chimney for better air drawing. The guy refused it. I'm assuming maybe he didn't want a higher chimney for the look, and my friend kept insisting. The owner said no, and when the fireplace was done, he complained it was hard to get a fire going due to the chimney being too short, leading to poor drawing of air. My friend came with a chimney extension and it worked fine, but he decided he didn't want to pay still, even though the job was done, and done well. So a few weeks later, my friend was passing through the area and saw nobody was home, but there was a fire going to keep the house warm. Owner must have been at work. So my friend climbed up onto the roof and got his chimney extension back. It was a plus, but not enough to cover everything that was installed and the time put in. Where things get funny is that once he took the extension of the chimney, due to poor drawing of air, the house started to fill up with smoke as the fire burned. The owner must have come home to a thick smoke-filled home. Try getting that smell out of stuff. Lol. Probably a layer of soot on everything. To my recollection, the owner did not have any pets, so no lives were harmed. But when everything you own is black and reeks like smoke and your home is freezing in the middle of winter, I bet you would have rather have paid someone for their products and services. I hate people like that. When they know from the point they hire you, no matter how good of a job you do, they will try to find some reason not to pay you. Third story. Entitled kid bullies me relentlessly and ends up going home with his tail between his legs and bleeding. Growing up, I was the good child who didn't shout, was always way too polite, etc. Adults loved me because I was the good little Catholic girl that read the Bible, etc. Whereas my brother was a wild child but has always had a face that gets him out of bother. He would always be up to something, but because everyone knew him, there wasn't many issues. However, I was bullied mercilessly growing up from a variety of channels. I have really bad eczema, which was the main catalyst, but also because until the of about 11, I had warts all over my hands. They were gross and it was painful as hell, but it also got me the nickname Scabby Hands. Kids wouldn't want to touch anything I touched, wouldn't want to be near me, etc. And I'll admit, I just sat quietly and let a lot of it happen. As I said, I was always very quiet and would normally be found myself reading. Bullying ranged from name-calling to having food drink put over me to just getting beaten up or followed, etc. I never really told anyone because I didn't know how to, but it resulted in me getting moved school because, and I quote, OP is causing a distraction for the other kids. I understand that she's getting it bullied, but because it's just her, it would be better if she goes to another school. That was great to hear as a kid, that it was less hassle to move me away than for the kids to be punished. Great. Since that's out of the way, on to the incident. There was one kid, shithead, who was a lot taller than me and older. I remember barely reaching his shoulders because I'm a bit short. He would always be at a park I would visit almost daily that was next to my auntie's. Her and my mum were close. We went nearly every day to her house when I wasn't with my dad because they lived next to each other. He would always be at this damn park within 5 minutes of me turning up. I know this because my mum could watch me at the park from the kitchen window because it faced onto it. However, there was a little one-way road and car park separating them. This is important. Now I'll be honest. The only thing I really remember from this particular day was that, as usual, I was by myself playing, but I had been waiting like 20 minutes to make sure no one was at the park, etc. because I didn't want to see anybody. My skin was really bad, bleeding, peeling, etc. so I didn't want to be around anyone. Lo and behold, that kid came to the park within 10 minutes of me being there. I don't remember how the conversation started, but I know that it ended with me lying on my back while this kid was standing on my hands, knuckles into the dirt, and was just stomping on them. My hands were in agony, and I couldn't move. I just remember begging him to stop, because the dirt was going into the white cracks in my goddamn hands. He just kept laughing and shouting that he was getting all my scabs of my scabby hands. I don't really remember much apart from my breathing getting really scary, also severe asthmatic, but then I was just calm. I don't know how I got up from under him, but I did, and, according to my mum, beat the shit out of the kid. But thing is, I don't really remember anything after the being calm. It was my mum who was the first to realize that something was wrong. Being a smoker at the time, she has went to stand at the window that faces the park, and she saw me on the ground. Apparently she started screaming and ran out the door, but by the time she was out of the clothes and running, she had to stop at the road. Now, this isn't too far away from the park, but because the cars had started, she couldn't get over. That's where she said she saw me run up a slide, climb on top of the structure, and then just spread my arms and jumped. Terrified, my mum ends up running over, to which she realizes that I had landed on the kid. My full weight, just right on top of him. She managed to get into the park, to which she just saw me on top of this kid straddling while punching him. She kept shouting my name, but she realized that I wasn't saying anything, just breathing and punching him. She had to drag me off, which resulted in what I now know was a massive panic attack, which had me just kicking out. We found out round about that time that despite being quiet, I had a fight response when my anxiety spiked, and I just took it all out on this kid. After a few minutes, I ended up taking an asthma attack and had to go to hospital. Problem was that when I woke up, I didn't even remember going to the park or much of that day, which has happened a few times. But I didn't remember. I got extremely upset in the hospital when I saw my hands wrapped in bloody bandages, thinking it was my skin, and then I just remember being groggy the next day going home. My mum took me back to my aunt's since there was stuff just left because of everything that happened. It was then that we found out the kid lived next to the park, and his mother saw us leaving because the layout, so you can imagine that she wasn't happy. This woman practically running to us screaming and swearing right into that single road that separated us, narrowly missing a car that came flying down, causing the driver to nearly swerve onto the pavement. It was a scene that just kept getting louder and louder. She's shouting at my mum, I have nearly got her killed, and that I nearly killed her son. The kids and his dad followed his mum's path, coming up to shout. I still remember the kid terrified of me. He just was terrified. His eyes were slits from just puffiness, pretty sure he was missing a tooth, and wasn't steady on his feet, moving with a limp. Turns out that the parents knew he was bullying me. They saw what he was doing to me in the park every fucking time. They didn't do anything. Because boys will be boys, they said. I remember feeling angry as hell at that point. When my mum realized that they had known and let it happen, well, she lost it. Before anyone could say anything, my mum had this woman by her throat. I remember just staring. My mum told her, and the other to not too kindly, that he clearly deserved it if he has been bullying. What kind of shit parents are you, etc. Those kind of things. The dad was trying to separate them, but it just wasn't happening. I know that the kid was screaming, but I was just standing by silently. Not sure why. But eventually my mum had said that if the kid touched me again, I was going to beat him up again. My mum literally grabbed me, pointed in this kid's face, and just said, if he ever touched me again, don't stop punching because he's had his warning. Now, I don't know if my mum made up my reaction, but given the amount of neighbors etc. that she's still friends with over the years who have confined, I'm not sure. But apparently I just started smiling at the kid and laughing. That was it. I just nodded at my mum and agreed while laughing. I'm pretty sure we looked like fucking maniacs, man. But something did snap on me that day. After that, I wasn't as calm or quiet. My mum became a little scared of me because after then was when I stopped really crying. I shut down, became cold and strange. I smiled when I saw people get hurt. People who had hurt me started to get hurt back. But I never got pulled up because she couldn't really prove it. At home, she saw that part, but outside of the house, I was still the same quiet girl which grew up the same, but my mum has always been way of me. She couldn't prove that I had done things she thought I did. And she couldn't understand how people thought that I was just this quiet, timid girl who didn't raise her voice. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.